Hello and welcome all to the Spooky Spooky Horror Show. I'm your host, Sean, with my co-host, Anthony, and tonight we will be reviewing and spoiling the 2017 Canadian found footage horror sci-fi film, The Gracefield Incident. Oh, fucking boy. So before we get into this fucking train wreck,
Anthony, a lot.
How has your week been?
It's been pretty productive at work. It's starting to get hotter up here, and then I got some stuff done on my Jeep, so I've had a good fucking week. I don't know, how's you? How's the weather out there in good old Texas?
It's been 90 like crazy, and we are in super drought right now. My area,
you on lockdown?
My area is like, I think like medium drought, but then like Hutto and Round Rock are like extreme. Their areas
that
are
means
like
I would be on lockdown.
Yeah, so I think tonight it's supposed to start raining, and it's supposed to rain for a week.
When was the last time you rained?
Well, the last time it said it rained, it was gonna rain, was when we got hit with a tornado.
Oh shit! Yeah, you guys did. I saw that.
But then it didn't rain.
Dude, it's rained a lot up here, like a lot. I just find that funny. It hasn't rained at all over there.
Yup. But I spent my morning, besides watching Ryan the Game Guy stream. If you don't know, he is currently doing a 24-hour stream for charity.
Yes, he is.
My new 64 gigs of RAM came in.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, this will be easy. It's just sticks of RAM.
No, it never is.
The RAM is too wide on the top for where my AIO radiator and fans are. So I was like, okay, maybe I just need to take one of the fans out to get it in, like the last one, and then just put the fan back on. So I tried that. No fucking go. The fan would not fit. It goes, the RAM sticks coming out of the motherboard go in like a direction like this, and then cut up. So the RAM is in the way. Okay. So I need to order now low profile, high capacity 120 millimeter fans, so that I can take those fans out and replace it. I have the radiator hooked back up, obviously, because I'm on it.
Yeah, we're on it, yeah.
But I only have one side with screws in it holding the radiator up. Yeah, the other side I have zip ties going up holding it in place.
You know better than this.
I know, but I needed it fucking running. It looks awesome, but I need to get the low profile things. And then I'll
so those are the fans in the kiddos then.
Yeah. So
he should probably have the space, or you could upgrade. It would be an upgrade for him.
Yeah, no, he would. No, I already upgraded the majority of his fans, but I.
Same thing I did.
I'm giving him my RAM that was currently in there, so then he'll have 32 gigs. And since you and him have the same PC, I'm gonna take his 2 sticks of RAM and give it to you, so that you are bumped back up to 32 gigs.
Yeah, because we actually ended up dropping down to 16, but it still runs amazingly. Your review on the NEX NXT. How the fuck is it? NXT
Founders
Foundation.
Like yeah, PC Foundation, something like that.
Is out of this world. It was a great find. It's like $700, like just stock. And let me tell you guys, his review is on key with it. You should check it out. Maybe even buy one.
So, okay, let me get through the very little production info, and then you can do your spoiler free. This was written, directed, and starring, and possibly edited. I stopped caring about doing a lot of this stuff when I couldn't really find anything. By by Matthew Rath. It's Ratthe. I don't really know. The filming locations were in Montreal and Gracefield, Quebec, Canada. And the approximate box office for this was $102,000. I can't find any information on how much it cost for him to make it. I just know that from it being in limited theaters, it made $102,000.
Yeah.
Do with that as you will. Like, I don't know.
Man.
I don't know. So what are your spoiler-free
takes?
Spoiler-free, yeah.
Okay, so first off, out the gate, I was very thrown off by like they throw a lot at you at once. They jam a lot of stories, random shit, like their graph stuff, and then they made a storyline out of it. And I was like, I don't really understand any of this. And then graphically, it was shit. And I don't know how to do this without spoilers. I mean, it was a shit show from the get-go. I can't give any good review on this. I think they had an idea and it went really ADD on them. Like they started out with one story that branched into another story, and then they lost me, and we went back to like Aliens. Like I was like, what the fuck are we doing right now?
Would you recommend?
Oh God, no! It was free, and I didn't want to watch it. Like it was like honestly, the last two movies I watched those movies at like 7 times. This one I watched twice. Purposely.
No,
like I was like, yeah, I was like maybe like let me watch it like maybe 3 times. It'll help me like look past some of the shit. I couldn't bring myself to it. It legitimately made me upset at work. Like I was like, I don't want to watch this movie again. To the point where I was like, come on, babe, watch the movie with me too. I promise you, it's just shit. Like watch it with me just for us to like have someone to talk to. Like it's just don't watch this movie. It's terrible. I can't.
All right.
We haven't even gotten into it yet.
Yeah, like, no. It's okay. So
this is gonna be long.
Yeah, just so everyone is aware, I have another YouTube channel that's my production company, T1GN Media. On it, that's not at all how you spell. I'm spelling YouTube for some reason. That's not what I wanted to spell in this hashtag. And on that show, on that channel, I usually do horror reviews. So I watched a shit ton of horror movies, like a lot. I didn't do all the reviews because then it's like I didn't have enough time to try to get everything together, and there were a lot of problems.
And that's what birthed the spooky horror show.
Pretty much, yeah. So that I don't have to do this by myself. It could go there, but I do have a website that I'll just end up throwing everything on.
I eventually have to put this on my YouTube. I neglect YouTube so much.
I covered
dudes.
Yeah, I covered this. And I was not favorable on it. A lot of this was the same.
He was to torture me from the get-go.
Yes, yeah. I specifically picked this one because I remember
he was upfront and honest with me. He's like, I'm not doing it to be a dick, but I have to share the shittiness that this is.
Remember when I told you about that movie Bad Ben? I played like the video game on it. It's super campy. It's really low budget, and a lot of people look at it and go, it's shit. But the redeeming quality of that is this guy had some money together. He was supposed to film something different, and everyone backed out on him at the last minute. So instead of just not making anything, he went, fuck it. I have these cameras. I have all this stuff. I'll make this. I'll change stuff around and I'll do this.
Okay.
And he made Bad Ben. It's not a great film, but it spawned. It has a
following.
Yeah, it has a great cult following. I think he's up to like Bad Ben 10 right now.
Really?
Yeah, that's like he's making money from it. Even during the pandemic, he managed to pump out another one. And there's a lot of stuff as an indie filmmaker, you can look at that film and be like, even if I don't have the best equipment, I can still make something and put it out.
Yeah.
This seems like they had budget, but they were just like, we rented this cabin so we can bang this out really quick over a weekend. And it's like a lot of the performances fucking show that. Like a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of the performances are fucking terrible.
I don't think the acting was there. The script wasn't there. Like the dialogue was just fucking dog shit. And if I'm not mistaken, the last 3 movies that we reviewed were all Canadian films. The last 2 were fucking amazing.
Yeah.
This one fell a little short.
Now here's the thing. When I was doing reviews, which I might end up going back to for like other ones on that channel, or I might just leave it more just for short films. What I would do is I would watch a film, right?
Okay.
You watch it, you get your initial thoughts on the film, you write stuff down, you write down like all your little things that like you noticed, maybe some plot points. Then you watch it a second time where you're picking it apart to try to find the things.
Okay.
Then you watch it again so that you can basically you like buy the DVD and then you rip it onto your DVD, like through a DVD player onto your computer, so that you have the footage so that you can cut through with all those marks. And then I watch it again while editing so I can take the selects, which are the pieces of the film that I want to put in as like B-roll over talking points. So that's like 4 or 5 times that I watched this film.
Dude, I'm so sorry for you that you had to put yourself through that.
I already have the script written.
Oh, so
like this is essentially the script from the YouTube video, but then I watched the film again, and I went through and I changed stuff in the script. Because now going in, this is like the 6th or 7th time I've watched this film. Now I'm just angry. There is shit that like I'm like super fucking angry about.
Why did you do this differently?
Yeah. I was actually going to tell you to make sure you have a pen and paper ready. I went full MatPat. Like, I dived into everything. Like, why is this like this? I was keeping track of, like, the timestamp on the cameras. Like,
the timestamp's all fucked up.
I was like, none of this fucking makes sense.
None of it.
And, like, I was going through, and that was one of my watch-throughs. I was sitting there, and I was writing everything down, and I was like, no, okay, so this part to here doesn't make any fucking sense. Why is this here? And then it'd be here. I was like, but why does this look like this? It shouldn't look like this. It should look like this. And I went through like that. So I as well would not recommend, unless you want to kind of punish someone that's watching it, I would not watch this film. All right. Are you ready for fucking spoilers and just fucking banging through this goddamn thing as fast as possible?
Yeah, let's do this, I guess. Like,
all right, let's throw up the spooky horror fucking. All right, so the film opens with Matt and his wife Jessica. I think her name's Jessica. I don't fucking remember. I already forgot what the fuck this chick's name is. She's fucking terrible. Vlogging their drive.
Yeah. Oh god,
they're vlogging their drive to the doctor's office, and they're talking about the upcoming birth of their child. Yeah. They get into a car accident. Everything flips. Matt apparently loses an eye. There's blood, and Jessica immediately knows that there's something wrong with the baby. He goes, "Hun, are you okay?"
Like that was preemptive.
Well, you get into a car accident, right? And you, like, if you go, "Are you okay?" Like, it literally cut to black as she was like, there's something wrong with the baby. How the fuck do you know that there is something wrong with the baby? Like, you wouldn't know.
Well, we were in the accident. I feel like maybe in the accident you would figure, you'd be like, okay, I used to get a lot of women that were then when they were in an accident, they immediately felt that they might have been like, oh no, the baby. Like, what about the baby? So I understand.
Well, yeah, no. The what about the baby is fine, but she went, there's something wrong with the baby. You wouldn't fucking know that. Unless you got into a car accident and like something went through your fucking stomach, like you're not gonna immediately know something's wrong with your fucking baby. And then that like I wanted to punch something watching that scene again. It cut to 10 months later, and Matt is still obsessively watching that video of the accident, clearly not having moved on. But he's also starting the process of making a prosthetic eye from what looks like tutorials from YouTube. Jessica reminds him of an upcoming trip with friends and not to be late before leaving for work. We now get a montage of him building a prosthetic video camera eye. And this is, again, he's building a prosthetic eye from a video camera from plans he found on the fucking internet.
Dude, and like there's like a million fucking like fucking chips.
Are you gonna put this shit in your eye? Here are some of the questions that I wrote down. Here are my questions.
Oh, I got some.
What is it recording to? Does the eye have an SD card in it that you have to like take out when it's full? Or does it record to the cloud via Wi-Fi? can you even download it via Wi-Fi, or does it have to be USB-C? Do you have to take the eye out, dismantle the eye? Can the eye be Wi-Fi enabled inside of an eye socket?
Is there not a toggle switch for the Wi-Fi? Like, is it just always Wi-Fi?
Is it recording all... Dude, is it recording all the time, or do you have to tap your temple to start and stop recording?
Did you see... That's what I said! Did you see that? Like, he looks like he's soldered in like a USB Mini-C.
Yeah.
In it. Like, if you would use that to... But you notice the back of it doesn't have that on it. And if it did in your socket, in your eye, that would get gunked up with fucking shit.
Dude, that's one of the fucking things that I asked, okay? Because it's like, is it recording all the time?
And then, like, he puts it in and it magically pops on, and then there's, like, a recording on his phone. What the fuck is that?
I was wondering how it was powered. And then I see that there's, like, a watch battery in it. How the fuck how do you record a watch battery? How do you recharge a watch battery?
Those are gyro ones. From when you move your arm, the movement of the...
So it's him doing this to his eye socket recharges it?
I guess when he moved his eye around. I guess when he feels it starting to go, you guess you like just no. The eyeball moving would be it's charging, not his head, dickies.
But the eyeball can't move around independently in his socket.
Yeah, it just when you look all around.
He can't look. No, but he can't look.
Oh yeah, technically he can't.
Yeah,
look. It's the muscle memory because your eyeballs. No.
Yeah,
like
because the thing that's moving it is gonna be the fucking bullshit that like hooks to like all your nerves and everything. This is just a fucking fucking ping pong ball. He fucking cut a hole in and shoved in his fucking eye.
True, yeah.
Like that's all it is. God. It doesn't move around. It's like if he looks
this is gonna be the longest night ever.
If he looks up there, that eye is still looking straight ahead. Like. Yeah. It's not fucking moving.
Yeah.
Right?
There's a couple times too it's on the wrong side, and I'm like, is it in a mirror? Are we watching a mirror image, or is it? I don't understand how they did the imaging.
Here's the other thing. If it's constantly powered on, wouldn't that heat up? That would be bad for like your brain. No,
I would think so. I would know. And the waves.
Like
you would think that there would be something wrong with this.
It's a cool concept. It doesn't make any fucking sense. It makes no goddamn sense.
I mean, when they go through the making of this thing, I mean, it was fucking. That was chef's kiss on making it.
Yeah.
But
it looked great.
Fucking sense. There's no fucking sense involved in this fucking thing.
Wait. Here's the other part. And it took a couple of watches for me to like actually pick this up. Do you know what his job is?
A tech guy, isn't he?
Nope. He's a video game editor.
That's what it was, a video game editor.
Do you know what a video game editor does?
Edit games? I don't know.
No.
I honestly don't know.
They basically take the footage of the game and cut it into trailers and marketing material.
Oh,
that's what he does.
Oh, okay.
How the fuck is he building a fucking robo eye out of plans from the internet with an eye?
Fucking these people are YouTube fucking mechanics, man.
Bitch doesn't have a fucking Raspberry Pi in his fucking eye socket.
Yeah, bro. Look, did you see him bust fucking Raspberry Pi? Fucking did you see him busting out that fucking soldering iron and shit, bro?
I'm like, what the fuck is okay? We're gonna
we gotta move on. This is the opening scene, bro. We haven't made it past the title screen yet.
Yeah, it's like, it's gonna get worse. Everything that as I wrote, I go on a fucking tangent in this document is highlighted green. If you look at this, the majority of this is fucking green. There's so many things that are just fucking annoying. Okay,
I love the Canadians, but this one fucking this shit the bed.
Matt leaves with Pupper in tow to go pick up Joe, and we see a news broadcast of a satellite being hit and destroyed. It's like foreshadowing or whatever.
It's pretty badass, though, I will say.
Yeah. Besides the fact that Joe is getting all cummy over his brand new Canon 5D camera, did you notice that the ADR for this scene is completely out of sync?
Yeah. It did. I mean, all of it. See, I thought they were like dubbing it. You know what I mean? It seemed like they were dubbing it, but it's not. It is English, but it just didn't line up right. Like, did they not fucking go back and re-edit this?
I don't know if like maybe they filmed somewhere and it was too loud, and instead of like just redoing it in the same location, they just went, we'll fix it in post. Never say you'll fix it in post. Just don't.
It never gets done.
But yeah, as I noticed that, and I had to like rewind it a couple. I was like, God damn it, Jesus Christ, man. So they drool over Joe's camera, and then they go to pick up Jess and Joe's wife Liz. After that, we get a quick little scene of the girls changing, where you don't see anything. You see like boobs and bras. That's about it. That's the extent. Like this is one of. If you remember the first podcast
one of these shitty ones, and there was just gratuitous nudity everywhere, it would bump up this fucking movie. Let me tell you, because it'd be interesting enough just to see what happens in typical form. This is the most dullest fucking shit ever.
So if you remember from our first podcast where we talked about
Hell House Inc.,
like gratuitous nudity, and how so long as it serves a purpose, like it's fine. Like male nudity, female nudity, doesn't matter. Nudity is fine so long as it serves a purpose. This is a movie where there should have been so much fucking nudity because it's the only thing that could save this fucking film.
And on top of that, I don't even want to see them naked.
Yeah,
like I don't. You don't want to see them naked, but it puts them. They're enjoying themselves. The only one that made any sense was that hot tub. The girl was like, "Fuck that," and you know what I mean. And that's what you do on those type of things. Your boss gave you your Bigfoot hunting boss gives you a cabin for the weekend.
It's Canada.
All right.
I'm sure they got tons of fucking squatches.
That's for sure. I mean, and like I was like, there's so many. They put so many stories involved in this one story.
It's
unnecessary.
No. So they go in after they the ladies get changed. They go to pick up Jess's little brother Trey and his new girlfriend Julia.
Trey.
On the way to Gracefield, they freak Julia out with Matt's robo eye. They joke about how remote the boss's cabin's in. Yeah, no, it is. And then but then the dog puts the eye in his mouth. Like, she freaks out. She's like, ew.
Puts it back in his eye. Yeah, like, dude, there's so many fucking things that don't make sense with this.
Yeah, no. Apparently the reason, as Anthony said before, that the cabin is so remote is because his boss, on top of, I guess, running a video game company, is also a trapper and has been hunting for Bigfoot. They arrive at this gorgeous-ass cabin with a fantastic view of the mountains and lake. Dude, this cabin is fucking mint.
That's the first thing she was like, "Oh my god, this cabin!"
I would kill for that cabin.
Oh god!
And then they compete for they compete for the best rooms. And Matt and what the fuck is her name, Jess, cheat by locking everyone in.
Yeah.
But then big old green highlight when Trey complains about getting the room with the 2 separate beds. Matt says that he's too young for sex, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, did he? I didn't catch that one.
But then later that night, he's playing beer pong.
Yeah.
But so he's too young to have sex, but he's not too young to get belligerently drunk.
Yeah.
Like, fucking come on, man.
Try hump on the couch. The inconsistencies in the script.
Yeah. We're gonna get to a lot of inconsistencies, especially when we get to Matt's fucking breakdown scene. Okay, so later that night, while relaxing on the deck, Trey calls for Julia to join him in the hot tub, and this way you get to see from like the trailers, Julia's little booty shaking as she walks to the hot tub because she's like, "I ain't getting no bathing suit," and then she jumps into the thing.
That is the extent of any kind of nudity that's in this.
Yeah. Where's my mouse? Come on, there you are.
It's a hot tub. Everyone's supposed to be naked in that whole entire scene.
Yeah.
You don't have clothes on in a hot tub scene.
Yeah. As Matt's checking out Julia's ass, Jess comes around, amazed by something in the distance, giving her best dead behind the eyes performance I have ever fucking seen. He's like, "Oh man,
she was a terrible actress.
Yeah,
I ain't that at all." She's like,
yeah, it's like, I ain't mad about that. And then she's like, "What's that?" And he's like, "Huh? What? No, I wasn't looking." And she's like,
"No, not that.
What is that?" That was her response to something in the fucking, like, come on, man. They turn to see a meteor in the distance, and while they discuss what it could be, it comes rocketing towards them and crashes somewhat close to the cabin.
Area they're at,
but
yeah.
if you notice, when he turns his robo eye over to look at the fucking meteor, at first there's nothing there. There's nothing, and then they're like, where? And it's like, there, and then all of a sudden there's a blip, and then I'm like, come on, man.
And what's worse is
I fucking hate this movie.
Okay, we're not at the scene where they go after it. We'll get into that.
Well, no, we're about there now. So Matt and Joe head into the woods to search for the crash when a drunk, half-naked Trey comes stumbling up to ask them to go with them. This is a point where this is something that annoys me in every low-budget and found footage film, the camera HUD.
Dude, that record the cameras were so inconsistent.
Cameras don't do that. Yeah. They don't fucking do that. Why are you doing that? Like, I don't, like, we know it's a Canon camera. You showed it to us. You show it multiple times, especially when we're looking at it from the robo eye and it's pointed at the ground, or it's pointed at the sky, or it has his lens cap on, but still miraculously filming the fucking scene. Like, we know the camera that it is. It doesn't have that fucking thing. Like, it also doesn't film night vision. Apparently, they slapped the green fucking tint. Yeah.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. Oh, look, the night vision, and then you never see night vision again. Like, in the cave that they go into?
Yeah, where they turn around and it's broad fucking daylight. It's fucking
stupid. Said the same thing. I'm like, oh, why are you saying it's going to be difficult to find our way? It's broad fucking daylight now.
Yeah, but it's
you can
nighttime.
See through all the fucking trees. None of the trees have... Anyone notice that none of the fucking trees have any goddamn leaves on them? Yeah. You can't see this fucking thing coming at you? Dude, you just... Can we get on with the scene? Can we get on with the scene?
While they're walking around, Matt's camera eye records something, records everything normally, but Joe's Canon 5D is recording with a time and date stamp and the rec symbol in the top left corner.
Camera.
Yeah, no, it's a great camera. It doesn't record like that. Matt leaves Joe to wait for Trey when he calls out that he found the crash. When Joe meets up with Matt just sticks his arm down the hole and pulls out a meteorite. Would that not be hot?
Everybody, I want to stop everybody. No, it's not going to be hot. What actually will end up happening is, like you said, it'd be hot, but because it's too cold from re-entering the atmosphere.
But still, touching it with your bare hands, that would still burn.
He would never do that. He would never do that. The fact that humanly, no one puts their fucking hand down a random hole from space that made it and just pull out a fucking meteor. No one does this shit.
Fucking smoky hole. What's this smoky hole we're reaching into?
And I'm sorry, if I'm not mistaken, it has some form of radiation. I'm sorry, you came through
from
the
space,
atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
if I remember hashtag class, I'm pretty sure when you go to those sites, you have to decontaminate it. Like you have to let it off gas for a little bit. They're just reaching down there and pulling it out. Hey, let's not make the girls be upset. No, you should be having a green arm coming from your fucking neck from right now. Unrealistic.
As he's pulling that out, we get a jump scare from Trey, who is standing in the dark. If you turn up the brightness, you can see him standing by a tree.
Really?
And then it's like they give him a cue, and then he jumps out, and you have the jump scare. It's like you could have at least had him off camera.
In their means, you know, they got to get that budget in their means, you know.
The guys head back to the cabin, but get lost. Matt again gets separated, and he starts to hear more noises, and he just runs to get himself caught in one of his boss's squatch traps. Joe and Trey...
Right before he's about ready to be nabbed by the so-called gray thing, because at this time, you don't know what this dumb fucking looking thing is yet.
Yeah, right now it's just hands and stuff. So Joe and Trey, I call him Dre. Joe and Trey come to the rescue when they hear more noises, thinking it's Teddy. They leave Trey in the woods alone in the dark with the meteorite, and Joe chases after Matt again. What is this just like his story arc of him like something I care about is in danger, I'm gonna fucking run towards it? Like
every
it doesn't
time.
make
You heard him. He doesn't want to lose anybody else. He has
so now he just overcompensates by fucking running through the dark with no fucking lights.
100%. It doesn't make any sense. You're gonna get yourself lost. So now everyone's lost.
So now we, as Joe chases after Matt, we cut to Joe's Canon 5D, switching over to not only
too much.
It switches over not only to night vision, which it doesn't do, but also that fucking overlay again. What the fuck? And Matt's just standing in front of the cave, and he's like, "Cave? Like, really? Real? Like, come on, man."
You told me was shot all during the day, and they had to overlay it in nighttime.
And then you watch it, and you're like, "Oh, they really did just throw a blue tint on some scenes and a green tint on others." This is clearly a day for night scene, and they tried to cover it up with night vision. Throwing a green tint on things does not make it night vision. As Anthony said, when they're in the cave and they're looking out, you can see clearly that it's just harsh, bright sunlight coming through. That clearly gives it away that it's not nighttime. If you're
nighttime yet.
When you're filming something day for night, there's like one rule. Never show the sky. Never show where there's direct light, because it instantly gives away that it's not nighttime. And it's just, they do it all the goddamn fucking time. Because Matt and Joe,
you are, well, yeah.
No, say what you're gonna say.
No, you're more of a cinephile than I am. You have more of an understanding of this, but I have to agree with you. Like, there's just some blatant shit in this. It's like, fucking, come on.
But no, we're just gonna film it normal and throw a fucking green tint on it. Fucking piece of shit.
God, we gotta move on. We digress.
Yeah, I'm on, what page is this? I'm on page 4 of 10 for this.
I was gonna say, what are we on, page 2?
Yeah, so Matt and Joe argue about going into the cave to get Teddy, and Matt's all like, "I'm going in," and Joe's all like, "I'm not going in," and Matt's all like, "You brought that big light," and then they both go in.
Yeah.
That was like the extent of the fight. Joe says that he now has night vision on, even though he already just had it on. They go into the cave.
Never see it on again.
Yeah, they go into the cave, and now night vision is off. And it's broad daylight outside. At least until they get deeper, and then it looks darker, because obviously they got further away from the opening, so it was just dark. Yeah. They realize the sound they heard is not a sound a dog makes, which you should have realized that long fucking before.
Getting inside of
long
a
fucking before.
Cave.
But they continue deeper.
Of course, this is what you do, don't you?
I told you, man, white people shit.
It is. I say it all the time. Like, this isn't even like real white people shit. This is like only TV shit. Because I'm watching it, I'm like, I ain't fucking doing
not going
any
in.
of this shit.
Yeah,
I'm not doing any of this. I guess the dog's gone. I don't know what to tell you. Hun, we got a new dog when we go back now. That's the new kid. That's our new kid. If it stays alive for a year, we don't lose it again, we're good. That would be the extent of this. And on top of that, who the fuck is going after the meteor? Do you think you're getting money for that?
Yeah, I do.
Ain't nobody give a fuck about no goddamn meteor hitting the floor. I don't want no radiation. My ass would go. I would have stayed inside. I would have gotten freaky. And I would have gotten stoned and drunk, and we would have been. That's the end of the movie right there. That movie would have been better than this piece of shit line that we got. Yeah, fuck.
Dude, it's so.
We digress.
Okay. So they go deeper in, and they find Trey's phone ringing. How Trey's phone got in there? No fucking clue. But Matt, he says, "Oh, it's Trey's phone," because he knows the phone every single fucking person has. As Matt reaches for it, something grabs his arm. He freaks out. They turn and they run out. And as they turn, again, you can see that it's broad fucking daylight outside, and that they weren't even that deep in the fucking cave.
No,
they were like 6 long steps. Dude,
when you're walking to the cave, it looks so fucking deep in. And then they magically they found a phone like right when they walked in. I was like, there's not enough time frame.
Yeah. But now
there's a cut scene. There was a cut scene though.
Yeah. Now apparently the camera is miraculously back in night vision mode. If you didn't know. They hide from the creature, getting blurry video footage, all the while showing the beautiful sunny sky until they can get away, and then suddenly it's nighttime again.
Dude, I say the same fucking thing. I'm like, you got a fucking, what is it, a Canon ESO, not the Rebel.
Yeah, it's the Canon, Canon C5.
I don't give a fuck. This camera's the top of the line bullshit. This whole time you've got some HD, you got some HD quality running through the woods fucking bullshit, but you couldn't get this fucking thing that was a couple feet away.
Yeah.
Magically, this is a shadowed out thing. I'm like, that doesn't pan out, man. That doesn't make any sense.
The money, man. The money. It's all about the money.
They shit the bed with that fucking, the way this alien thing looks. Continue.
Yeah. But you notice that like the sky was like
it was very like, visibly during the day.
And all they did was make it blue. And then when they get back to the house, suddenly it's pitch black out. So it was literally like they filmed that stuff during the day, and then at night they just like stood in the woods and there was like, okay, action, and then fucking ran. It's like, because it's like he has the camera. He has not the camera. He has the he has the Joe has like a light. He has an LED light on it that's battery powered. Like, that could be on as your source of light while you're running through.
Yeah.
And that would make more sense. Instead, they go, well, it's night vision. And, oh, it's dark. It's like, it's stupid.
Well,
it's stupid what it is.
They had unlimited battery? I had one of those ESO Rebels.
Yeah.
I had the Rebel line one. And the battery didn't last that fucking long.
Battery's dog shit. I have the what I'm doing, my setup is the Blackmagic Pocket 4K. And it's a cinema camera that I think runs on the same batteries that were in the one that you have, that you had, and they don't last at all. They'll last maybe an hour. I had to buy a V-mount battery, a giant V-mount battery. But yeah, so where are we? They got back to the cabin. They meet up with the girls, and Trey is there. But Trey looks like he's seen some shit. I don't know if he was supposed to have seen something that scared him, or he's just still drunk. I don't fucking know. But Matt decides that they need to stay the night because they are low on gas, and if they get lost and run out, they'll be stranded in the middle of nowhere. Wouldn't they just take this same fucking road?
See, okay, so now we're gonna nitpick this one because you got me there.
Go.
It took about 15 minutes watching this, like me and her going just dog shit in this whole scene. So, like, what doesn't make any sense is when you watch them drive up, she was like, I saw visibly on his dashboard that he had no fucking gas.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, yes, it's very clear he knows that he has none. Doesn't tell you then anything. Yeah. In this scene, he admits that, yes, I fucking was lost. We did lose track of where we were going, and now we have no fucking no way to get back. If I get lost, we might run into gas.
But so they're going to run out of gas regardless then.
Yes. Either way, you're not making it to the gas station. Yeah. That is definitely not at the end of the road that you had to take to get to the cabin.
Because if you were low on gas and you were on your way there and you saw a gas station, you would have filled up with gas. You wouldn't have been like, well, on the way back we'll get gas.
It doesn't make any sense.
I know.
Why wouldn't you?
Dude, none of this movie makes sense, and we're getting to the part where I fucking raged. So Matt decides their safest option is to lock themselves in the cabin for the night. Matt stashes the space rock in his backpack and takes out his video camera eye and strategically places it where we get a shot of his wife in her panties. They hug. She's trying to get some P and some V, and he has a breakdown. He tells Jessica, wait, hold on, let me get through this whole thing and then you can come in. He tells Jessica that he understands that she wants to have another baby, but he just doesn't know if he can go through the possibility of that loss again. And this is where Jessica has the weirdest fucking turn I've ever seen in my life. She tells him that he knows having a family is the most important thing to her, and he needs to decide what he wants before he loses someone else that he loves. What the actual fuck is this dialogue? Who would ever think that this is good dialogue and character building? Her attitude is, I don't give a shit that we lost that baby. Put another one in me or I'm leaving you. How is that a normal response?
And it was only 10 months after, too. That's not really that long. In retrospect.
Wouldn't her body still be recovering from the car accident, the loss of a child?
Yeah. It wouldn't be the most opportune time, probably, healing and stuff. But no, I'm sorry. She was just so cold to him.
Right?
He was expressing that he legitimately had a mental,
being talked down to and being like, if you don't, give me
masculinity.
If you don't put a baby in me, I'm gonna leave you. That makes dicks hard.
Oh yeah.
Like no, what the fuck?
Tell you.
I was expecting after she said that family was the most important thing to her, she would follow it with something like "You're a big part of that too," but instead she just turns into a straight up fucking bully. She turns into a fucking bully, and she's just like yelling at him, "Give me your seed."
Yeah, she's aggressive.
This is what I think. Now remember, Matt is played by the writer and director.
Oh, okay.
So he wrote this. So I'm thinking he wrote this as a way to like elicit sympathy for his character and to like show acting chops. And it's like, bro, if that's what you were going for, it fucking sucks. It sucks because all it made us do is fucking hate you and fucking hate your wife.
Fuck her. She's a fucking dick.
So she storms away in her panties and she like whips off her shirt and slams the bathroom door behind her. That's the bathroom.
Okay, she did go to the bathroom.
So Matt is just sitting there, a weeping mess, and a slam is heard from the bathroom, and Matt rushes into the bathroom. He finds Jessica freaked out in the bathtub, but the window is smashed with the weird symbol. Did you notice the continuity fuck up?
Yes.
What was the continuity fuck up?
What do you mean in the picture?
No. When she goes into the bathroom, the smash is heard. He gets up and runs into the bathroom to find her in the bathtub, freaked out, and the window broken. What's the continuity error?
I don't know.
How the fuck is he recording this? His eyeball's on the fucking table. He never picked up the eye. He ran into the bathroom to check on her, and then all of a sudden we're seeing that POV. So what, did he go in there, talk to her, find out if she's okay, and then run back out, grab his eyeball, walk back in, and be all like, "Hey, let's just do this again." Oh, look at the eye. Like, no.
Bro, good catch. I didn't see. That's what that went right by me.
Bro, I saw this and I was like,
yeah.
What?
Are we first person this now, or are we doing it through your fucking eyeball? Pick one, bro.
Apparently, his other eyeball is a fucking video camera too.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is this?
Bro. Dude, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
This is the thing where I was like, the next time you watch it, like, just keep an eye on when you're looking at Matt through the Canon camera, and then when it does the reverse shot and you're seeing it through Matt's robo eye.
Oh yeah, okay.
And look to see where the Canon camera is actually aiming.
Okay.
It's almost never aimed at him.
No, it's always on the ground.
When
like, it's always like holding it down.
Yeah. And
but yet they're supposed to be having a dialogue right there, facing each other, but it's on the ground. So how does that fucking work?
Yeah. So what is it like? Oh, hey man. Yeah, no, dude, this is crazy. This is crazy. Yeah, no, I know. We really need to figure this out. Yeah, no, too cool. Totally. Like, no, that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense. It's they either didn't need the robo eye or they didn't need the fucking Canon camera. Like one or the other.
I feel they just went balls to the wall, like throw shit in this.
Throw everything at the wall and fuck it.
It really, honestly, the eyeball was unnecessary if you got this. I spent a small fortune camera. Yeah. That is a small fortune for that camera. It is.
Yeah.
So what was the point of making this high-tech fucking camera for your eyeball that's supposed to be everyone's phone doesn't work anymore, right?
Oh, wait. You know what the other thing is, right? He didn't tell anyone that there was a camera in it.
No. They deduced it, though, with the red dot in it, which was fucking corny as shit. What makes there a red retina in any camera that's out there that does this shit?
Yeah. It was powered on. It was like Terminator. Dun, 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 dun. Like, no, it was fucking stupid. And isn't that kind of scummy that, like, you put a secret recording device
and you're recording everybody, all of your friends without their permission?
Yeah.
There's so many fucking things about this movie.
But anyway, everyone runs upstairs to stare at Jess in the bathroom naked. And it's like, oh, look, it's the window. And then Matt and Joe go downstairs to finish celebrating Joe's 30th birthday, apparently.
Yeah.
And
which he completely sets aside his friend's fucking feelings.
Yeah. Joe is getting on Matt's case about not moving on from losing a child and says shit like, you're not the only one that lost a child. At least you can try and make another one. You need to get over it.
That's such a fucked up thing to say, though.
You're a shitty friend. Yeah. But it's just the fact that he goes, well, dude, like, just Put your fucking dick in her, man. Like, she wants a kid. Just make another one. I know the other one died in a horrible fucking accident inside of her stomach, but just make another one. It doesn't make sense as that's his best friend. That
I feel
that's the response that like he would give him. Like
it
doesn't make
feel
sense.
That if it was the other way around, it would make you hate the male character if it was doing it to a female character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, well, you know, you need to get on board with this. You know, you just lost your kid, but that's my kid too. I want another kid now, or I want a boy now. They made you really hate her.
Joe is a shitty friend, and Jessica's a shitty fucking wife. I hope the alien takes you. Fucking piece of shit. That night, we get some security camera shots of the property and interior. When a TV turns itself on and it's all staticky, we then get a shot of Trey sleeping and something recording him. I'm assuming the thing recording him is his cell phone. How did he get his cell phone back?
I think it's the camera.
What camera?
I don't know. All of the cutscenes to different cameras and his eyeball make no fucking sense. Because if you notice, there's some that will go to it'll say recording in the corner. Then it's his eyeball. Then there's ones that just have the numbers on the bottom, which are the cell phones.
Yeah.
But you said your cell phones don't work. Why are they recording you?
Well,
how
did he get his phone back? Remember, he lost it. It's in the cave. He never picked it up.
Nobody picked it up.
Trey lost his cell phone apparently. Matt found it in the cave, but then got scared and never picked it up. So how the fuck is it sitting on his fucking table recording him right now?
Fuck it, it's terrible.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. But yeah, so Trey wakes up. He wanders around the house, finally settling on sitting in front of that TV that turned on. He's just sitting there looking at his cell, acting weird. The cell starts acting weird when something comes up behind him and attacks him. We don't see what it is.
Dude, there's some of these things that fucking go on, and then these next scenes are just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Aren't you glad I made you watch this?
Dude, this was terrible.
I told you, I legitimately have a list. I legitimately have a list of just terrible fucking movies.
Like, I can't recommend it for, like, my friends to watch. Like, I was like, listen, don't watch it.
If you don't like them, if you don't like them, man, you just go, hey, sit down, watch the Gracefield Incident. You'll fucking love it. just hype it up and then be like, there you go.
Oh, this was Aren't you glad? Found footage world.
So, what the fuck is it? Trey is attacked, and then Matt wakes up and starts roaming the house. He gets freaked out when balloons from the first floor begin floating up to, I guess, the second floor that he's on.
Yeah.
The clocks are all acting weird, and the door to the driveway is wide open. All the lights begin to flicker, including the car lights. After booping the car, Matt hears a loud growl and then he comes running back into the cabin. He scurries back into the cabin. After shutting and locking the door, he sees a shadow and immediately starts asking, who's awake? You just heard growling outside. The door was wide open. Things are flickering. You see a weird fucking shadow. Are you really going to start yelling, who's awake?
There's many times that they're yelling, and I'm like, why would you draw so much more fucking attention to yourself?
Exactly. Because when you wake up and weird shit like random balloons floating around, lights everywhere flickering out of control, or more importantly, when you see a shadow figure in the dark, your first instinct
yelling at it.
Your first instinct is never to fucking yell at it. You don't sit there and be like, I am awake. Like, you don't do that.
I'm aware of your presence.
Yeah. But then he follows the shadow downstairs, which is another thing you don't do.
You don't
what
do
is that
this shit.
Yes, actually, my first instinct when scared is to make as much noise as possible. If they know where I am, I'm much harder to kill. But no. But you don't know where they are. You don't know where they are.
Helpful in a dangerous situation. That one doesn't make any sense. If you're letting them know where you're at,
they're not letting you know where they are.
Where I'm at. Yeah, I want them to be furthest away from me. His tactics are gonna get us killed.
Yeah. So he follows the shadow downstairs, which is another thing you wouldn't do. But then you can see the creature's shadow behind him.
On the wall, you'll see it.
Yeah.
And it gets,
but he just followed it downstairs.
But you never see it come in the screen, so the shadow should have never continued to get bigger.
Yeah.
Like it's all about the shadows and the way the lighting is, so it doesn't make sense. They didn't catch that. The bigger it gets, that means the closer to the wall it's getting.
Hey, you ready for something awesome?
But clearly neither of you have studied Hollywood horror that way.
We still have... Dude, we still have 40 fucking minutes left of this movie.
Fuck this movie, dude. I told you, I just want to get this done. I want to be able to fucking relax for the night. I've been dreading this fucking review.
Matt finds Trey sitting alone in the basement on the couch, muttering to himself that it's too late and something about dying.
Someone's gonna die in death.
Yeah. Matt tries to get answers from him, but he's not making any sense, so he helps him up and gets him back to bed. A weird symbol appears on the TV, and as Matt comes back and gets close to it, it shuts itself off and then turns itself back on again, and it's normal. That's hot. What happens next?
That's what happens next. Apparently, a misunderstanding that. Yeah, we thought that Trey was in bed with his boo, and apparently not.
Yeah. So Matt goes back upstairs, and he hears movement. He notices that the door's open again. There's a loud crash, and Matt watches the creature run out the cabin. Are you going back to sleep after you see that?
What?
Exactly. You, like, it's not even like it's a small thing, like it's a giant fucking thing. You just saw a giant ass fucking thing run out of your cabin. Like, I'm just locking the door and I'm waking everyone up, and like we're all gonna huddle in one room. Yeah. Like, no. We then get a jump scare of Julia asking where Trey is, which the jump scares in this movie are not good. Like,
they're not jump scares, dude. They are fucking terribly played. Everything is predictable to every scene. That's a giant thing.
And also, we're coming up to a part where I actually downloaded a photo so we can look at it and fucking Matt and Pat dissect this shit. So get ready for that. But yeah, you see something like that, you're not fucking going to sleep. You're waking everyone up. You're not gonna go, oh, let me go look for things. Ooh, it's not fucking Scooby-Doo.
They fail at being Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, Matt tells her that he put him to bed, and she's like, she's not there. So they check the security cameras and see that Trey never stayed in bed and ended up walking right past Matt and out of the house into the woods. Calling the cops is not going to happen because there's no signal up there, so Matt and Julia go out to look for him. Not full on go out to look for him. Just walk to the driveway and yell. I was wondering why they wouldn't wake everyone else up. Like, someone from your party is gone, and you just go outside and start screaming into the night. You don't walk and wake up everyone else in the fucking house to be like, hey, like someone like sleptwalk. Yeah, no.
This is find this person that's now lost in the wilderness.
Apparently, this is not an all hands on deck situation. This is just two people yelling into
the weird shit that happened before.
Technically, it's one person screaming into the woods. It's just Julia.
It's just screaming into the void. Where'd you go?
The homies are missing. The only logical explanation is to scream. Oh, okay. Well, apparently Apache's idea is to just scream into the void if someone's missing. Thankfully, Julia's screaming wakes up Jessica. Jessica then comes outside to ask what they're doing, and Matt tells her about her brother going missing. He says they should all go back inside, but they don't. They don't want to leave Trey out there. So Matt says he'll go search. He'll go get Joe, and they'll search. All Jessica has to do
is just make sure this dumb bitch does not go into the fucking woods.
Jessica's
one job, motherfucker, do? The one thing you fucking did to she just went in the woods. I was like, what the fuck was the point of you then?
Right? Jessica had one job. Watch Julia and make sure she doesn't go into the woods. Matt leaves to go get Joe, and on his way grabs a kitchen knife, a bag of balloons, and a can of compressed air. Like the air that you clean your computer with.
Oh, see, why. I never saw that. I'm like, is this dude blowing them up with his fucking breath? And you think this is gonna fucking float? That canister's not filling more than a balloon.
I made specific note that this is not helium. This is just regular air that you clean your keyboard with, which means when you fill it up, the balloon isn't gonna float. It's gonna sink. It's just air.
It's just gonna stay there.
So now from this point, this is where I started keeping track of the time. From this point, we're going to pay attention to the time on Joe's camera specifically, since Robo-Eye doesn't fucking have it. It is 5:35 a.m.
But I think you think that it goes like chronologically. I think you're not remembering that it.
Well, no, it eventually fucks up, but it doesn't fuck up yet. You'll see when it fucks up because the time codes and everything get all fucked up.
Okay, go on.
So right now it is currently, according to Joe's Canon 5D, it is 5:35 a.m. We then go back outside and Julia is gone. Jessica did not stop her from going into the woods. This bitch wants to try for another fucking kid, and she can't even handle a sober adult.
A grown adult. I don't understand why this is like happening.
So Matt tells her to just go back in the cabin and keep trying to call for the cops while they search for Trey and now Julia, since she couldn't do the one fucking job that she was given. While Matt and Joe are in the woods, Matt is attacked by the creature and dragged away, but Joe rushes after him and stops. He rushes after him and it stops it, causing the creature to run away. Okay, so now the creature ran away. It is currently 5:41 a.m., which means only a couple of minutes have passed since they got into the woods and started running, right? They're not that deep in the woods because they didn't run, they walked in, right? Yeah. We then cut to Jessica and Liz, and they're trying to call the police, but dang it, her phone won't do anything but record video. So before she uses...
never answered why it does that.
Yeah. So before she uses Liz's phone, she obviously needs to perfectly place the phone so it has the best framing, right?
Yeah.
It's now 6:56 a.m. An hour has passed since Matt's attack and the girls tried to call the cops. Matt is blowing up balloons so they can find their way back. Again, condensed like air like that, it's condensed. It's heavy. Like it's not doing that.
Yeah. It's not. It's at best, it's like that CO2 cartridge.
Yeah.
You know,
like it's not lighter than air. Yeah, it's not lighter than air.
Helium. The whole premise fucking was retarded.
Now we cut to Julia, Trey's girlfriend, who is lost in the woods. Her phone is now doing the record thing, and she finds Trey just standing in the woods unresponsive. At least with her, like, I think she was using her phone as a flashlight.
A flashlight, yeah. So it's also recording.
And then the camera turned on, because she even made a comment like, why is my phone doing this? But then instead of holding her phone like this, like when you're, using it as a flashlight, it's like this. That suddenly means like you're not doing the flashlight thing, you're doing so that immediately took me out. Like, it would have been fine if they put the video footage up in vertical, because then it would have been like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Oh, okay, now I see what you're saying in that aspect.
Yeah. What is it? She keeps trying to get Trey's attention. When she hears a noise, she turns around to see what it was, and she's like looking at Trey. Sorry, she's holding it horizontal. She's looking at Trey, and then she turns it with her to film the thing. It's like, what? You wouldn't do that. Like, it makes it seem like you're specifically using your fucking phone to record a fucking movie. Like, that's not how it... Whatever. She turns back around, Trey is gone, and then the creature chases her down and, like, glowifies her fucking face with its fingers. I don't fucking know.
I don't understand it. Yeah, it's like it takes you by your head, and it, like, is it absorbing you? There's so much inconsistencies to this movie. Yeah,
I don't know. But it's now, according to Joe's camera, 7:42 a.m. Another hour passed since Matt and Joe were blowing up balloons when they hear Julia scream. So when she's being attacked and screaming, they hear her and then run for her, right?
Yeah.
Matt and Joe follow the screams, and they come across just her clothing spread across the top of a tree. Now, remember, I said to pay attention to the time. Julia has been screaming for Trey, correct? This whole time.
Okay.
They've been about 3 minutes away from each other. How did they not fucking hear Julia screaming for Trey?
Doesn't make any sense, bro.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. It doesn't make any, like...
And why are you... They're in the same fucking... They're in the same woods. You would hear them.
Yeah.
You would hear each other.
Yeah.
They're miles away. You would hear each other in an empty woods.
It took them 3 minutes running at not full speed to get to her. You could hear her screaming.
Talentless.
like, so they hear more screams, and Matt, like the fucking idiot that he is, just takes off running, leaving Joe behind again. Less than a minute from where they heard the screams, they're in a cornfield.
Yes,
right?
Where did the cornfield come from? That doesn't make any sense.
So Joe, being smart, says that they need to head back because they aren't going to be able to find anybody in all this tall ass corn, unless they have a helicopter. Matt yells more, "I'm not leaving anyone," whatever. And then he has the idea to tie Joe's phone to balloons and then raise them up.
Fucking idea I've ever heard of.
It can work. Again, you have canned air that's not blowing up a fucking balloon, but it's okay because
do you know how far up that went up, man? No.
Yeah, it's okay though because the alien creature monster thing brought back all the fucking balloons and a shit ton of rope, so it's fine. Okay. So.
Sorry, beforehand, I want to point out 100% that why does everything has to be revolved around fucking corn, like the corn? It's so played the fuck out. It really is.
I don't know.
It's so terrible. In the middle of this forest, you mean to tell me this gorgeous Canadian forest was
just
a magical field of corn? Corn doesn't just grow in a forest.
Someone needs to be growing it.
Yeah, I mean, the soil for a forest is not good for farming. You would have to till it. You'd have to irrigate it. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
They got their magic floaty condensed air-filled balloons, and they float the camera up into the sky to reveal the giant-ass crop circle. So I will bring that back up. Okay, this is the crop circle that they find. If you notice the rope going to that little circle that they're in, that's where they are.
The longest fucking rope and that's supposed to be the rope that you'd use to tie off a balloon. Motherfucker, has anybody in your life ever had that much fucking yarn from tying off a balloon? That's more than Party City has.
No, this is where it gets better. So this is a giant ass crop circle. My brain will not let sleeping dogs lie. They ran into that specific portion, that circle that has like the two little dots that the rope is going to.
How'd they get there?
After a minute of running through the cornfield. But if you look at the field,
look at the field, that's more than a minute. That's a good couple of minutes.
Yeah.
That's like at least 10
minutes. But more importantly, if you remember the film, the X-Files movie, I Want to Believe, where Mulder and Scully are running through the cornfield and they do a top, like an overhead shot of the corn, you can see where they were running through the cornfield to get to where they were. How did they get there? None of that corn is disturbed besides the crop circle.
Look at it. None of it. You can see the lines on the sides.
But there would still be a line going to where they are. And there's nothing there.
What's wrong with this thing? Oh my god.
Do you see why? It's like I remember watching and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Like why is that there? Like you could have even CG'd in like a line to make it look like you ran, but still they ran for a minute.
Let's not get into their CGing in this movie, okay?
But still,
the scene where it runs away from them and they finally show you looks like some blocky Doom shit. I was like, really? That is disgusting CGI. But continue.
But yeah, so it's like looking at that, it's just like they only ran for like a minute when they hit the cornfield. That the distance from all the other edges don't make sense. But according to his camera, the time is now 8:24 a.m. What is it? The symbol is the same that was on the TV. They hear Trey and they start running. When they run wherever in that fucking cornfield, all they find is his clothes. This is when they're chased by the creature.
Again, it's kind of like War of the Worlds. Like, they just magically poof.
Yeah. But this is... Now they're being chased. Also, Joe has his lens cap on the camera, even though he's recording. When they hid from the ghost, you see through Matt's robo-eye that the camera that was just looking up at Joe is now pointed towards the ground and has a lens cap on. But then it immediately cuts to Joe's camera angle again, and the camera's back up at him. Yeah, you need it for this. So this pissed me off, and they find their way back to the woods. The balloons are suddenly back, and after some arguing, they decide to follow the balloons back to the cabin. And this is when all of the acting, like the acting wasn't good.
No,
like,
it wasn't
at all in the movie. But it's at this point that like you're like, okay, no, we're done. We're just gonna hit like as far down into the fucking basement as we can. They make it back to the cabin and let the girls know that they couldn't find Trey or Julia. Joe decides that he's gonna take Liz and they're gonna take the truck and head back to a gas station to get gas and some help. But the car won't start. So Joe decides that him and Liz will take the bikes that are just conveniently there and ride down to the gas station.
Made sense.
Yeah. They have no idea what time. Wait, yeah, they were saying they don't know what time it is because I think that at this point the clocks and everything are like fucking up. But Matt says that it's 5 hours.
Everybody all remembered that when they were at the cave, though, it was already light out.
Yeah, but it was dark because it was nighttime. Okay, so Matt says it's 5 hours before sunset. This is the point. Yeah, exactly. This is the point where I told you that I was.
How is it 5 o'clock on that other fucking video?
Exactly. This is why I was saying like I wanted you to have pen and paper so that if I had like a whiteboard, I would fucking pull out a whiteboard and start fucking filling this out.
You would look like Charlie Day and fucking when he does the conspiracy theory.
Absolutely. Are you ready for this shit? This is where I fucking Matt Pat the shit out of this. How long did it take them to get back to the cabin? They went into the woods at about 5:30 in the morning. They ran around in the woods and got lost, and they ended up at the cornfield at 7:45. So that's about 2.5 hours, give or take a couple of minutes.
Okay.
They got out of the cornfield and back into the woods at 8:30. And then they followed a path out. So they got lost for about 2.5 hours because they had no idea where they were going. They were going in circles. But then they had a path to follow to get the fuck out of the woods. Right? So if Matt is saying that it's 5 hours until sunset, in Quebec, on October 28th, which is the date that all of the things are time-stamped, of any year, any year, October 28th in Quebec, Canada.
Like low.
Yeah, the sun sets around 5:30-ish. So that would imply that it is currently
like deep in that rabbit hole.
Yes. So that implies that currently what Matt is saying is that it is 12:30. He's estimating it's about 12:30. Why or how did it take 4 fucking hours to get back to the fucking cabin? It took double the time to fucking get back. On top of that, on top of following a fucking trail, walking or even running full speed should have been like an hour. But then they get back. So okay, let's say they got back and then like they tried to hatch a plan. How the fuck did it take this long to hatch a fucking plan? You give the girls the lowdown and then you fucking leave. That's like 11 a.m. at most. How is it taking all this time?
You're thinking logically because 90% of this whole film made no fucking sense.
It makes no, dude. It makes no fucking sense.
The script was so off-put. Probably what was happening in the scenes.
Dude,
like you were like, well, why are you doing this? And
I refuse to believe they had a script.
It found footage. I think they kind of went with it.
I believe they rented an Airbnb. And they were like, bro, we can shoot a found footage film in a weekend. And they just had a general idea and went that way.
And just said, fuck it, we're just going to run with it.
Yeah. So Joe and Liz take the bikes. They're like, I'll be right back. And as soon as they're out of sight, they're abducted. Matt and Jessica then hide out in the house. And they go through all the footage looking for clues or something when they realize it's an alien. Jessica sees the footage of it trying to grab Matt and freaks out while Matt realizes that it was just trying to get that rock back. This is where I realized that to get the footage, she had to plug it into a USB, a mini USB.
Now, if you cut the beginning, that man glues that all together. concludes it all together. How
Except
are you putting the...
Well, in the back, there was a little cutout for it, which is then disgusting because then you have vacant eye socket goo inside of that plug. And it's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's now, according to, apparently the clocks are fine now, and according to the Canon 5D, it is now 6:08 p.m. Matt and Jessica...
So does it line up?
Yep. Matt and Jessica attempt to sneak out of the cabin through the basement, but surprise, the balloons are back. And then bang, jump scare. I don't fucking know. Joe and Liz were taken around 12:30 in the afternoon. So are we supposed to believe that Matt and Jessica just sat there until like 6 o'clock at night before doing fucking anything? But like,
it makes no sense. But didn't they take a nap? Like they just went and they took a nap.
Plus the fact, think about it, like they've been awake since at least 5 o'clock in the morning, and you figure the night before, because they were partying, they didn't go to sleep early.
No.
You know, because the meteorite hit, and then they went to go find that, and then they came back, so that was probably like 1 o'clock in the morning, right?
It had to have been.
So like they're going on absolutely no sleep. Like it's just the movie, you're just sitting there. There's logic. There's logic that you can like jump over and be like, nah, that's fine. It's whatever. And then there's logic where it's just like,
it's not logic at all.
The front door is open and the monster's behind you, but instead of going through the front door and shutting the door behind you, you decide to stand at the front door for a couple of seconds and then like turn to your left and go to run as it's grabbing you. It's just, it doesn't make fucking sense. Anyway, all hell breaks loose. White flashing lights, wind blowing trash all over the place. I don't know where all that fucking trash came from, but whatever.
I know that.
And suddenly,
it all blew into the house. Like, what the fuck is going on?
As suddenly as it started, it stops. And that's when they decide to leave the house. They find Joe and Liz's clothes and bikes just laying on the ground, and the alien attacks. When the alien attacks, they run into the woods. Running through the woods, they make it to the cornfield in shockingly amazing fucking time. Do you see how fast they got to that fucking cornfield?
And if it was a cutscene, they should have told you the time frame, because let me tell you, there's a lot of shit that happened in between there for the last time they made it that cornfield that we just forgot about.
It took them
exactly what that is.
It took them like 2.5 hours to get to that fucking cornfield, and this time it took them like 3 minutes.
No, they're experts now. Don't you know that?
Oh my fucking god!
They're cornfield experts at this point.
While trying to catch their breath and calm Liz down, because apparently Liz was going for a fucking Oscar nomination with like all of her fucking screaming.
Oh my god, I hated that. I was like, dude, you're going a little too hard on this. You're not getting nominated for this.
Yeah,
like it was annoying.
Yeah, Matt's grabbed by the alien again and dragged away. Jessica chases after him and leaving the cannon on the floor. She gets Matt back. They run and she picks up the camera as they go. We get a really bad chase sequence here because Jessica picked up the camera. When it cuts to Matt from Joe's camera, so the camera that Jessica is holding, the camera is facing him with the light fully on him. Right?
Yeah.
Which would mean that Liz is running backwards, recording him like this, or she's running like this. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Because I mean, at that point, you're actually putting an actual camera crew in it. So you're no longer doing what you did before with two different cameras.
You don't need the Canon anymore. No. You just use this fucking eyeball. Like that's all that you fucking need. Ugh. God, how many more fucking pages of this do I have? Oh, we're on 9 of 10. Thank you fucking God.
Oh God.
When we cut back to Matt's eye, Jessica's running straight ahead, not holding. Oh, so yeah, that's the other thing. So like when you cut to the perspective of Matt's eye, Jessica she's like holding the camera in her hand, so she's not even like doing this. She's just running. So she's not even using the camera that has a giant fucking light on it to like light her way. They fall or trip or fucking take a break from running so Jessica can scream and have another fucking meltdown again.
Scream at the top of your lungs. Top of your lungs.
You're running away from a monster / alien. Why are you so fucking loud?
Why do they all yell?
Like, it's one thing if, like, you're sitting there and you're like, oh God. But she's screaming at the top of her fucking lungs. And you already saw the alien, and it just grabbed your husband. Why the fuck are you screaming, letting it know where you are? I fucking hate this. I fucking hate this. Right after Matt says that he's not gonna lose her too, she's taken, obviously.
Immediately.
It's like, okay, bye. Matt continues running, and now he trips, and he tells the alien that he's not giving it the rock until they give him back his wife. The alien then comes down and tells him to fuck off and takes the rock, and to no one's surprise, it's a fucking alien baby.
Not to no one's surprise. We're gonna stop right there. Why the fuck would anybody have thought that would be the case? This is the most out of the blue fucking situation that, like, really, that's what it was? You shot your child load out from space from your fucking your craft, and it hit in the fucking
no, because remember, they were probably all in it, or probably when they crashed into the satellite in the beginning, it probably broke off and fell to Earth, so it came to get it.
It's just so far-fetched.
It's just the fact that, like, oh, he lost his baby, and then she's like telling him to, like, fucking give me your seed or I'm leaving you too. It's just, that's probably an alien baby. It's like, I just assume, I was like, it's probably an alien baby, and then it was like, oh, it's an alien baby. That's just what it is.
It's terrible.
Matt apologizes to the alien, and then it teleports back to its ship, leaving, and the ship leaves Earth. Matt's alone in the woods until flashes of light start to dart down, and a naked Jessica, who you don't really get to see anything of, walks up on Matt and embraces him, and then you can hear the friends screaming in the background.
I love your commentaries on that.
Yeah. The Canadian Air Force arrives to help, because, you know, that 911 call earlier. But I'm not sure.
Less than 24 hours ago, but you didn't notice the fucking spacecraft in your airspace?
Yeah, there's that. But when you call 911 for help in Canada, does, like, the Canadian Air Force show up?
That,
right?
It did. Yeah, it was kind of weird in that aspect, if you want to point that out.
Yeah, it's like, it's a little weird. But we cut to a year later, and Matt and Jessica had a baby.
Wow, the end. Shocking.
At the end. The fucking end. I have like a page and a half of tangent. So, Anthony, I'm going to let you go first.
The script in this was just absolutely dog shit. They bounced around and tried to metaphorically do this child issue between the two of them. So you're trying to grasp onto the characters with that issue while there's some random fucking space alien trying to get them. They grasped a lot for this fucking movie. It reflects with the actors. It's poorly fucking acting. I mean, like, the acting isn't that good at all. They had a couple good scenes where I thought the flow of the scene went good, but the lines weren't delivered. Like, I wasn't feeling that they would, like, just shitballing the whole scene, and it was like, oh my god, it's hard to get through. There is zero fucking effects to this movie. Like, I'm sorry. It is a Blair Witch situation. The time when he was fucking crying and it's going down his cheeks and it's going onto the camera, like, did you watch Blair Witch, like, right before you made this movie? Like, do we need some stuff to run down too? Like, this was totally just unnecessary. So it's like, I don't know. Man, there's so much of this movie that I never want to see again. It's not even funny. Like it wouldn't even be like, I'm bored, I'm gonna go to sleep, let me put it on. I'm pretty sure I'd stay up just to critique as much as possible.
You ready for all of my bullshit?
Yeah, let's get this over with.
Okay. The movie looked good.
I disagree.
The the quality of the image that we're getting on screen
it's conveyed. Good. Yeah, it's conveyed.
The whole camera eye thing, an awesome concept. Terribly implemented.
Okay, thank you.
Terribly implemented.
You cannot tell me that was a good idea.
The concept is awesome.
Just the idea that they used it for.
And here's why it's a good concept. Especially in found footage films, having a reason to keep the cameras rolling in found footage is something that like only a few movies get right. Like Paranormal Activity and Wreck. They're the only ones that really... The what?
Which makes sense.
Yeah. So having like a robo eye that is just recording everything, although I don't know what the fuck's going on with the storage because I don't see him fitting a fucking like a 8 terabyte fucking M.2 SSD in his fucking eye socket. Like,
how long is the battery for this fucking micro eyeball of his?
Well,
how much data does it store?
Well, you were saying the battery has like a gyro thing, but then I completely blew that out of the water because you were like, yeah, no, just moving the eyeball around charges it, and it's like, well, it can't. So it's like, does he have to take it out and charge it?
You're right, because there's the muscle function in there is no longer attached to anything. It would just kind of move around a little bit.
Yeah.
But people that have prosthetic eye, that doesn't mean, wait, but people that have prosthetic eyes usually have the other eye move sometimes as well.
Maybe they have like a marble in it that like when they like move their head to look at something, it moves. I don't know, man.
I don't know.
However, as cool as a concept as the robo-eye is, if you're gonna do the robo-eye, then you don't need Joe running around with his fucking camera. The majority of the time, when you cut to footage from Matt's eye, Joe isn't even aiming the fucking camera at Matt. It's aimed at like the ground, and we get reverse shots from Joe's camera, and Matt's like perfectly framed in the shot. There's also a couple of times Joe's supposed to be like recording because we just got the reverse shot from Joe's camera that the fucking lens cap is on. Like you can't even like it's either like it's either like he's like recording it and it's his job to constantly be recording, so it's like he has like a shoulder rig or something to do it, or just don't fucking have it. Or have it like be like a GoPro camera that's just like on his backpack. So it's like he turns it on or whatever. But I feel like they did that because they wanted a camera. I'm assuming they most likely used like a GoPro for his eyeball footage.
Yeah.
They probably like put it on his head so that you would get like that POV. And they wanted better...
You'll notice when he goes around around corners, it kind of has a depth perception difference. You'll notice that. Like when he was peeking out to go see the car when it was going ape shit, you'll notice it kind of almost has, like if you close your eye, the depth perception difference. So I felt that might have been one redeeming factor in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just a useless fucking prop.
Yeah, and then it's like the issue with the cell phones recording. It's why? Why?
Yeah. Why are they never answered why they were recording.
Yeah, there was nothing ever explained. And also having it filmed like the conventional way instead of it being vertical, like if you're holding your phone. Like no one holds their phone horizontal.
Yeah.
Unless you're specifically recording something, no one ever holds their phone fucking vertical, or you're watching something. But if you're using it as like a flashlight or you're trying to make a call, it's vertical. So if you're gonna fucking do that, like I feel like having it filmed the conventional way and then having POV shots from Matt's eye sprinkled in, would have made the film better. Or just doing only his POV shot and then sprinkling in people's like video camera footage, like cell phone footage. Would have made it better. But not having that fucking Canon camera, like seeing that is fucking stupid. Time was confusing as all hell. The time codes on the camera just made the fucking thing worse. They could have easily done it where it was like a time anomaly, and at first they don't realize what's happening, and time's all distorted, which would explain my big problem with the movie, Day for Night. I can deal shooting during the day, but making it look like
nighttime.
Oh,
day for night. Okay.
Yeah. I can deal with poor dubbing or weird dialogue. It was their shitty attempts at day for night that really annoyed me. It doesn't look good. It looks like they had no idea what they were doing. You can obviously see in a bunch of the scenes that they were shot during the day, whether it was for budgetary reasons, safety reasons, whatever the reasons. There were, like I said earlier, there are fucking rules for shooting day for night, especially outdoors. Outdoors, it's a lot harder. But the rule is you don't shoot the sky. Ever. You never point the camera up. You never look at the fucking sky because it's a dead fucking giveaway.
You do say that a lot, though.
Yeah. So you can tell it's clearly not. So all of those scenes should have been cut. The story was weak and predictable. There were weird dubbing choices made. The acting was wildly fucking inconsistent.
Oh my god.
Sometimes
I couldn't stand the acting in this.
Yeah, dude, sometimes the dialogue was delivered great and believable, like these people were really friends. And then other times it was delivered monotone and robotic, like they did one take and
yes.
And like it was just it's fine. It's fine. Moving on.
Yeah. It didn't convey well.
Yeah. There were good things about the film. Like I said, the movie looked aesthetically good. Like the visuals you were getting from the cameras were good. Cinematography was probably the best part, not the day for night. And then the CG and some of the practicals. There were only
I just don't think it was good.
The hand grabbing him looked good. Like in the cave, the hands trying to grab him on the footage, trying to get like the backpack or whatever, looked good. And then while the alien model they used for like the end scene when they were being chased looked good, it didn't look like it fit in the world. It looked like it was a kind of like a video game that was just placed there.
Yes.
So it's like I felt a lot of it was done well until you get to the abduction scene and like the shit in the house. Mm-hmm. And then it just all fell apart. And like yeah, man, I don't know. I would give this like a 1.
Oh, dude, it's 100% 1 for me. I really don't want to let people know about this movie. That's why I was like, I didn't like doing the trailer when I was streaming. It's like, I don't want to give bad fucking movie.
I don't want people looking at this.
Associate this with me. Like, this is fucking terrible. Like, I know this is the point of these podcasts, though. So it's indiscriminately do these reviews on movies, but mine's a 0. Mine's a 1. I'd give it a 1. You know what? A 1 to 2 at best. It's entertaining for someone that doesn't want to actually fucking watch it.
Yeah, all that doesn't really. Whatever. But yeah, so I'm gonna mute us, and this is gonna be the next film that we watch. It's called We Summon the Darkness. It's from 2020, and it stars, surprisingly, Johnny Knoxville, and the drop dead gorgeous Alexandra Daddario, and a bunch of other people that I have no idea who the hell they are.
Yeah, I don't really know the other actresses.
Police came across another grisly murder scene last night.
Wait, I want to hear that.
The walls covered in satanic symbols.
Another gruesome, ritualistic murder claimed the lives of 6 people last night following a heavy metal concert
That local religious groups were protesting.
This is supposed to scare other people, not us.
So you ready for Soldiers of Satan?
All right, let's go.
Cheers to a night that we're going to remember for years to come.
Hear, hear.
My brothers and sisters, the evil that is heavy metal rock music is unwavering in its goal to corrupt our children's souls.
Girls, be careful now. There's a lot of evil out there.
You don't think we can fend for ourselves?
Boys, do you want to have a threesome with us?
How many more children must die in Satan's name?
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
It is not too late. Join me in this fight. Incinerate these demons and send them back to hell.
We
I know you.
I'm the wrath of God.
Why are the police here?
Good riddance.
So that is next week's film. We Summon the Darkness.
And it should be a good one.
Yeah. It's 1,000 times better than what we just watched.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that is it for tonight's podcast. Anthony will be live tomorrow on Murdoch the Red. I will be live again on Monday, and the podcast will be live on next Saturday, where we watch I already forgot what it's called. We Summon the Darkness. So that one should be fun. So until next time, bye.